Hello, welcome back to another episode of BizJet TV. It's Fab Poli, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about flight safety and about an incident that happened a few weeks ago. Because I just want to really emphasize the fact that you've come to this channel, you subscribe to this channel, or you just come across this episode right now because you're interested in private jets. Now, first thing I'd like to share with you, and I have shared on a few other videos, this statistic. According to Flight Safety Foundation, the safety of private jets is 5 times worse than the airlines. Now, in a previous video, I also shared my experience of when I almost crashed a Citation in St. Moritz, and you can click on the link here to hear about that story. But I want to talk about a recent incident here, and I'm just going to launch into another segment of the video shortly, where you're going to see air traffic control communications between a private jet, it was actually a Global 6000, and air traffic control in Seattle Boeing Field. This airplane was... You'll see what happens, and then I'll comment afterwards. So let's just launch into that right now. I want you to watch carefully a few minutes of this footage, and then I'll explain what was going on. So let's launch into it.
This is Jet 868 holding short Bravo 10, and we're fully ready for runway 32 left departure.
This is Jet 868, just verify you're squawking VFR and understand you want a right traffic pattern.
Right traffic pattern and a firm squawking VFR 1200, this is Jet 868.
This is Jet 868, stand by. This is Jet 868, runway 32 left, line up and wait.
Runway 32 left, line up and wait. And could you just confirm if you'd like us to maintain 1,500 feet for the downwind? This is Jet 868.
This is Jet 868, affirmative, the pattern altitude will be 1,500.
Boeing Tower says 374 Mike Alpha, 1 mile southwest of Blake Island at 2,000, inbound with X-ray, full stop.
This is 374 Mike Alpha, Boeing Tower, hold over Blake Island, I'll call your turn inbound.
Hold over Blake and you'll call our inbound, 374 Mike Alpha.
This is Jet 868, runway 32 left, clear for takeoff, and make your right turn for the pattern at 1,500 feet.
Runway 32 left, right turn and 1,500 feet, clear takeoff. This is Jet 868.
Cessna 4 Mike Alpha, you can proceed eastbound below the Bravo and just give me one more 360 when you reach Fauntleroy.
Okay, we'll proceed eastbound. We'll do one more 360 and report over Fauntleroy, 374 Mike Alpha.
This is Jet 868, start that right turn now, pattern altitude 1,500. There's a Cessna a mile behind and to your right, they'll be underneath you at 1,000. This is Jet 868, start that right turn now and keep your downwind inside the lake at 1,500.
We're turning in the right turn now at 1,500 inside the lake. This is Jet 868.
Cessna 804, caution brake turns for traffic just south of the stadium, turning southbound. You have the jet in sight. Cessna 804, turn base now, runway 14 left, full stop, clear to land. This is Jet 828, need a hard turn, remain west of the lake.
We are max back. This is Jet 868.
This is Jet 868, thank you. Just maintain that present altitude and fly the downwind, I'll call your base turn.
Okay, continuing downwind 1,500, this is Jet 868.
This is Jet 868, plan about a 4-mile base, I'll call your base.
Extending 4 miles, this is Jet 868.
This is Jet 868, in 1 mile, turn right base.
In 1 mile right base, this is Jet 868.
Just a 4 Mike Alpha, change the runway 14 left, runway 14 left, clear to land.
14 left, clear to land, 74 Mike Alpha.
Wind 1906, altimeter 2994. This is Jet 868. Looks like you're just overshooting final now. Traffic for SeaTac is about 2 miles to your west. Expect the landing clearance on a 2-mile final, runway 32 left.
We're departing for to the north. This is Jet 868.
This is 868, hard right hand turn. I need you eastbound for SeaTac Airport. Eastbound turn.
We're max bank now. This is Jet 868.
traffic alert, VistaJet 868, traffic at your 1 o'clock and 2 miles, climbing out of 1,800 feet at the Boeing 757. I need you on a north heading now.
We're heading north now, VistaJet 868.
VistaJet 868, same intentions again?
Yeah, we're on a departure to the north. Our destination is Athens, Lima Golf Alpha Victor, VistaJet 868.
VistaJet 868, we are not going to give you your IFR clearance airborne. You want a full stop landing?
Negative. Are you able to negotiate? We're too heavy to land. We require to remain airborne for the next 5 hours before we can reach max landing weight. VistaJet 868.
VistaJet 848, roger. Fly suggested VFR heading of 350 and maintain 1,500. Maintain VFR.
1,500 VFR heading 350, VistaJet 868.
VistaJet 868, fly suggested VFR heading of 320.
Heading 320, VistaJet 868.
VistaJet 858, continue that heading, remain east of downtown, traffic 10 o'clock and 6 miles, inbound 2,200 is the Challenger 35.
So as you saw from that, a bit of a mess up there on behalf of the pilots. Air traffic control, we're telling them, informing them about the other traffic. They almost crashed into 2 aircraft, and then they were flying around at 1,500 feet, burning a lot of fuel at low altitude when they're on a flight going from Seattle all the way across to Athens. I only hope they did end up having enough fuel to get there direct. Otherwise, if I was been the passenger in the back, I wouldn't have been very happy when I'm expecting a direct flight and then suddenly they have to stop to refuel somewhere. So what those pilots did was very unprofessional and also very unsafe. So my recommendation, if you do charter private jets, make sure you're using companies that that operate in a certain way. If you are buying a private jet or leasing a private jet, make sure you hire good pilots, but above all, give them training. And it's not the minimum requirement. Don't go cheap on the pilot, don't go cheap on the training, because otherwise this type of thing happens. Now, in this case, an accident didn't happen. This was an incident. But as I said at the beginning of this video, the safety record of private aviation is actually 5 times worse than the airlines. That doesn't mean they're unsafe. Private jets are safe and can be even safer than flying the airlines. It all depends on, buying a good airplane, maintaining it well and safely, and also hiring the right pilots and giving them the right training and enough training. It's a bit like if you buy a sports team, you want to hire good players and you also want to have a good coach, and you want these players to train properly so that your team is going to win. Well, in the case of a private jet, think of it a bit like a sports team. The private jet wins when it delivers you safe to your destination and on time, because it's all about time. If you die or if you crash, you're not going to get there on time, or you're never going to get there. So always think in terms of time, and flight safety is really, really important. And in this case, these pilots took a few risks. I personally wouldn't have done that, but they did. Maybe they were pressured by the company, maybe they were pressured by the passenger. We don't know what the detail was on that end, but they did launch into the air and put themselves and the passengers at risk by doing what they did. So just be very, very careful when you're out there and you are chartering or leasing, or you're going to buy a private jet. Make sure you hire right and make sure you train your pilots to keep you safe. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment below, and that's all from Fab Poli at BizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.